Hey guys, happy Friday. It's the end of the week. Congratulations, you made it. So we're going to talk about conditional frequency today. Let me just make a few quick announcements because I noticed some people are getting all their Canvas work done, but they're not doing any of the math excels. Or they're doing all the math excels, but they're not doing any of the Canvas stuff. Come on, guys. You got to do both, okay? You're doing Canvas assignment. It's about 4 questions, and then you turn around, you do a math excel assignment. Okay, it's like your homework, classwork and homework. You got to do both. Okay, so please make sure you're getting on both of those things. Everything is available in that assignment calendar. And also, if you didn't do something, late is better than never. Okay, so please do it. Even if it's past due, I can give you 80% of the credit, and an 80% is way better than a 0%. Okay, so let's get on it. Those of you who are getting your work done, you're doing a great job, okay? So this lesson on conditional frequency, which is one of my favorite lessons, is brought to you by Chick-fil-A, which is still open and fueling many an energetic 6-year-old running around my house anyways. So, all right, let's get to it. We got Juan with us today. Juan is gonna walk us through some conditional frequency here. So you've got your guided notes up on conditional relative frequency. I call it just conditional frequency. Please make sure you have those up. You will need a calculator as well. And let's jump right into it. Okay, so we have the same exact data that we've been using. We got boys and girls preferring math or English. Same exact table that we've been using the last couple of days, okay? So let's say Mr. Yockel shows up and he's looking at our table here and he goes, Mr. Leacock, noticing some things about my sea lions here. One of the things that I notice is that the boys like math more than the girls like math. So, one, if you're looking at this data, would you agree with Mr. Yockel that more boys like math than girls?
No, I disagree.
Well,
yes. Never mind. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, why were you saying disagree and now you're changing your mind?
Because I was looking at something else. I was looking at the combination of English males and math males.
Okay, and what do you notice about that?
That more boys like math, more boys like English than math.
Oh, I see. That's interesting.
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll get back to that in a second. Okay, so when you said more boys like math than girls, what are you looking at here?
At my math section, my math boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so you agree with Mr. Yockel here, right?
Yes, I agree.
And why specifically, why do you agree that more boys like math than girls?
Because on the graph shown above, it says that 42 males like math and 35 females like mathematics, and 42 is greater than 35.
42 is greater 35, so more boys. Okay, so here's a trick. Okay, I kind of trapped Juan on this one. Okay, because it is true. It is true that 42 is a bigger number than 35. Okay, but Juan also noticed something else, right? He noticed that if he's just looking at the boys, what he said was true, right? Like 40 more boys actually prefer English, right? Because 47 is a bigger number than 42. So more boys prefer English to math. And if we're looking at just the girls, what do you notice about just the girls here, Juan?
More girls like math than English.
Okay, so now I'm really confused, right? Because it is true that boys tend to prefer English over math, and it is also true that girls prefer math over English. So how is it possible, even if more boys prefer English, that Mr. Yackel can also say more boys prefer math? How is that a possibility?
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
Haha.
I'm asking you.
Um, I don't know. I don't know.
I know,
You
it's
hit me
tricky,
hard
right?
with this one. Yeah.
So this is the thing about conditional frequency, right? It can't be true that like you can say that more boys prefer English, but also more boys prefer math over girl. Like that's not a possibility, right? You can't have it both ways, right? And the truth is, the reason one that both are kind of true is over here in the total column. So what do you notice about the totals here?
That there's more boys than females.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Right. So
that makes
what does
so
that
much
make you
sense.
think?
That since more boys are answering the survey, then there's a higher chance that more boys are yeah, like a subject
Exactly,
more than
right?
females.
It's sort of
Yeah.
like all the data is like stacked in boys' favor because we asked more boys than we did girls, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it's kind of tricky, right? You gotta think about this data um, specifically before you can make a claim like that, okay? And that's exactly right. So while Mr. Yackel might say, well, definitely there's more boys, right? I got 42 boys that prefer math and only 35 females prefer math. So boys like math, yay boys, right? And Mr. Yackel likes math. He's a math guy. But the fact is, actually, because there were less girls being surveyed, more girls prefer math over boys, okay? And this is what we
All right.
call conditional relative frequency, okay? When we say conditions, what we're talking about is, let's see, where is it? Yeah, I wrote up here, like find the condition, right? The condition is super important here because conditional means, ooh, okay. Conditional means um, you're only going to look at one row at a time. Okay, only look at one row at a time. And depending on that one row or column, that's going to kind of frame your argument around something. Okay, now let's look specifically just at the row of boys here. Okay, so if we're just looking at the row of boys, what
Uh-huh.
percentage of the boys prefer math?
Um, it would be 28%.
28%. It should be a little bit higher than that. 42 divided by 89. Okay, I just want to know of the boys.
Oh, 50% or something like that. 47%.
47%. Okay, so 47% of the boys like math. I'm just going to look at boys right now. Okay,
Boys. All right.
so then what percentage of the boys like English?
53, 52, 53.
53, about
Yeah.
53%. Okay. Now, again, I'm just focused on the boys, right? There's 42 boys that like math, but I didn't do 42 divided by 149 because I'm
Yeah.
not trying to get the total. I'm trying to
You're
get
trying to get the boys
just
only.
of the boys, right? So, what percentage of the females like math? Oh, that
Of
should
the
be 89.
female.
That should be a 60. I got to change that.
58.
Oh, come on, Brian. What is going on here? Oh no, it's not working. What is happening here? I'm failing. Failing at life. All right, let me try this. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. I give up. All right, this is going to be, you said 50 what?
58.
58%. So 35 out of a total 60 is going to be 58% of the girls, okay? And then 20 divided by 60, you got about
42.
42.
Yeah, because you need 100%.
Yeah. Okay. So, so there you have it, right? If you just looking, like for you to know who actually likes which subject more, right now, like we said, it's stacked in the boys' favor because there's more boys here, right? But if we look
Yeah.
at it as a percentage, we can see very clearly that who likes math more.
Girls.
Yeah, by like almost 10% more, right? So this is what we
Yeah.
call conditional relative frequency. And this is interesting stuff. I don't know, I don't know how much you guys are into like politics and stuff, but this is how when you get into like politics and debates and stuff like that, this is how people get into big arguments, right? Because depending on how you look at the data, right? Like you might have one politician saying, well, more boys like math because 42 is a bigger number than 35, right? And then the other politician will come back and say, well, yeah, that might be true, but you're failing to see the context of it, right? We didn't interview as much girls, so that's not really fair for the girls. And then this turns into a whole argument, right?
Yeah.
So that's that. Okay, so what percentage, oh, we've already answered this. What percentage of male students actually prefer math?
57, I think.
We said 47.
47, yeah.
And what percentage of the females? Like
53, 58, yeah.
Okay. Now here's the important thing to remember about conditional frequency. Okay, I highlighted it for you here. Every time you see a question about a frequency table, it is so important that you read the question and you make sure you are answering the actual question that they ask you. Okay.
Okay.
If this just said what percentage prefer math, right? That would be a different question, but this is setting a condition for you, okay? It's like a category or a rule. The condition is of the male students, okay? So I see male students, I'm only gonna focus on the male row. If I see of female students, my condition is only female students. I'm not looking at any other part of the table, just the female students, okay?
Okay.
This is like we're setting the conditions, right? Okay, so let's skip down to task number 1, okay? So if we're looking at task number 1, we got boys and girls again. We got playing video games, not playing video games, okay?
I'm playing with one.
All right, so in part A, it says what percentage of the students who do not play video games are female? So 1, in this case,
Yeah.
what is our condition?
So in order to find our condition is females and do not play video games.
Okay, this is the tricky part, right? Again, I highlighted it on mine for you, okay? The first part of the question will give you the condition, okay? So the first part of the question is of the students who do not play video games, okay? So right now, my condition is I'm only going to look at the students who do not play video games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I'm only going to focus on this one part. Now tell me what percentage of those are female?
All right. So it would be 80. It would be 50. You divide 85 by 145.
Right. 85, which is the number of females.
Yeah.
And divide that by the total number of people who don't play video games, right?
Yeah.
And what's that number one?
59%.
59%. Okay. So again, it's super important that you're looking at the specific condition that they set for you, and it's always going to be given to you in the problem. Okay. Maybe I can erase. Can I erase this? What is this?
It's a box.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I just deleted the whole thing. All right. So 59%. Nope. That didn't work. All right. So on the next one, part B, it says, given that a student is female, what's the probability that they don't play video games? So what's our condition in this one?
The females.
Right. Again, they give it to
The
you right there.
ladies.
I'm only going to
Yeah.
focus on the females. So I'm just looking at females.
Yeah. It's 57%.
Okay. How'd you get that?
You divide the girls who do not play video games by the total.
The total what?
The total of females.
Just the females, right? So 85
Yes.
divided by 150. And you got 57?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good job. All right. Part C, what percentage of the students who do play video games are male? So what's our condition here?
They'll play video game section.
All right, so we got playing video games. I'm only going to focus on the video game column. And we got males, so we got 69 males divided by the total number of the people who play video games, which is 134, right?
Yes.
What do you get?
51%.
51%. All right. Okay, so what's one thing is sort of like a key phrase. You've seen it like 3 times already. What's like kind of the key phrase that helps you set the condition?
Students.
I'll read the part D here. It says, of the students who were male, what's the probability that a student plays video games? What do you notice?
Of the.
Yeah, it's like of the something, right? Like that's our condition right there. Okay, I see the of this group. And the previous one, it was of the students who do. The first one, it was of the students who do not, right? So of the male students, so my condition here is only males. I got who do play video games. So what am I gonna do?
You divide 69 by 129.
Right. And what's that percentage?
That is 53%.
53%. So interesting. Again, like this gets into some debatable numbers here, right? Because like if you look at part C and part D, they both relate to this one little cell here, right? We're both looking at this 69 number, but we're comparing it to a different total, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I could argue with one and I could be like, well, you know, this group of males, this only represents 51% of our group, right? And one, you could argue with me and you could say what?
That 53%.
You're like, no, it's 53%, right?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, just like that, right?
Yeah, like in class.
Yeah, just like 7th period would do, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
Again, the important thing to remember here, that's it for the lesson, right? But the important thing to remember is conditional frequency is based on very specific conditions or like rules that the problem will give you, okay? So the most important thing about conditional frequency is reading the problem, making sure you understand exactly what the problem is asking and which numbers you're going to compare it to. Any questions there, Juan?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So we've come to the point in our lesson where Juan gets to shout out some people. And again, I will tell you, okay, we've only got, actually after this one, I've got like 4 more video lessons. And then we're getting into some boot camp stuff, okay, which I'm not sure I'll do like I'm not sure exactly how I'll do the videos for that, but if you would still like to be on one of the video lessons or like to do
Send him
another
an
one,
email.
then send me a note in Canvas and I will schedule you in. Okay.
You should
So
CC me, that way I can be in it too.
yeah, I think
See,
I mean, Juan will always be in the video, right? But if you guys get
yeah.
tired of seeing Juan's face, I don't know how you could, but if you did, then you could join as well. So Juan, you got a shout out for today?
Well, I want to give a shout out to Kai because he gave me a shout out and I really appreciated that. And then, yeah, everyone who's still in Mad Madness, check out the chart. Yeah,
Yeah, man. It's been crazy already, man. There's been some
yeah, I've heard.
surprises. I'll just say that, some surprises. All right, until next time.